One of the most popular paranormal topics is that of the ghost photograph variety. Here at Top 5s, we've had many videos dedicated to exposing and bringing light to these dark and creepy photographs. Some of the most compelling proof of ghosts' existence comes from these still images, and whether they're months or centuries old, they seem to be able to draw us in examining them in great detail for any signs of clues. There are countless ways to fake a ghost photograph though, through third-party apps or image-altering software. But with these next 5 photographs, you will find the skeptic in you question itself. So without further ado, here are 5 terrifying ghost photographs that will leave you speechless. Hit those lights, sit back, and enjoy. 7 Gables Ghost Boy. This first image was taken at the historic house of the 7 Gables Mansion in Salem, Massachusetts, a house built in 1668 and once the home of author Nathaniel Hawthorne's cousin, Susanna Ingersoll. Hawthorne's visits to the house gave him the inspiration for his famous novel, The House of the 7 Gables. Nowadays the home is a museum that receives many visitors each year. It also has a reputation as being haunted. In 2013, visitor Lisa B snapped a photo of the house and noticed the ghostly image of a boy in the shrubbery peering over the wooden fence. Take a look. What's even more remarkable about this image is that after doing some research on the house and Hawthorne's connection to it, she discovered one of his lesser known books, 20 Days with Julian and Little Bunny by Papa, a story about a time when Hawthorne was left to look after his 5-year-old son Julian for 3 weeks whilst his wife was away. She realised the portrait of little Julian on the front of the book bears a striking resemblance to the boy peering over the fence in her photo. What do you think? Coincidence, stray child, hoax, or the ghost of Julian? The electric chair ghost. It would stand to reason that if there are any areas that have a higher chance of capturing a ghost in a photo, it would be in places where people have frequently died, such as the Golden Gate Bridge or Okigahara Forest. However, one strong place you may not think about is where countless people have been forced to go to meet their end by execution in the electric chair. This is the case for this next photograph, taken by Fred Lucha. Fred was an engineer from Tennessee who was hired by the state to examine and repair the chair, and to make it more effective and humane for the criminals who face it. Fred had the chair moved to the basement of his house so he could work on it, and he took a few photographs for reference, and this is one of the images he captured. Take a look. You can make out a face in the middle of the straps on the back of the chair, as well as a hand on the right armrest. What do you think? Is this just an example of seeing something that isn't there? Is this just an example of pareidolia? Or do you think all of the death this chair has seen, as well as the massive amounts of electromagnetic forces it's been subjected to, that it may have kept one of its victims trapped there forever? Robert Ferguson. They say that family sticks with you through thick and thin, but that saying may stretch further to even after death. This is what Robert Ferguson believed after a seemingly normal picture of him was taken back in 1968. The photo you're seeing is a younger Robert giving a speech at a spiritual convention in Los Angeles. But what people quickly notice is the strange, somewhat transparent figure standing next to him. At first, people figured it was a defective camera, and for a laugh, they decided to show Robert the photo, and to their amazement, he declared the figure next to him, although blurry, was his brother Walter. The resemblance to him was uncanny, and what was an even bigger shock was that Walter had died over 20 years earlier in 1944. Many skeptics were quick to call this out in later decades as simple double exposure or a possible smudge on the lens. Many of those arguments are put to rest quickly when they learn the photo was a Polaroid, making the argument for double exposure next to impossible. So what do you think is the cause? The ghost in the loft. It is often a taboo topic to speak of ghosts in churches or other holy grounds. Many people try to associate ghosts with an evil presence or a malicious spirit, but that is not always the case. In fact, most ghosts captured on film seem to either be at peace or be looking out for a loved one. This can be said for the following photo, taken in 1982 by Chris Brackley in London's St. Botolph's Church. The figure of a woman can be seen in the upper right corner of the loft and appears to be overlooking the church. Many have speculated that this is the ghost of a former member of the church who has decided to pay a visit to a place that gave her peace in life. Perhaps that transfers to a peace in death as well. This photograph has no gory backstory, it's just a serene looking ghost taking comfort in the peace and tranquility of a church. Or so it seems. What do you think? The Creepy Photobomb. Many of you may have seen this one before, but it's too good to miss out. There are few things more annoying when trying to take a sincere picture than when someone decides to ruin the moment and make either a funny face in the background or rude gesture that forces someone to retake the photo. However, when a picture features a person that nobody knew was there, it makes things far scarier, as we see in the following photograph. Labelled as the grip around the internet. The picture consists of two female friends posing for a photograph together, with the city lights in the background. And as you'll probably noticed, the half-seen figure of what appears to be a man grabbing one of the girls by the arm. Unnoticed by either of the girls, it's even creepier as it seems the figure is trying to pull one of the girls towards him. You can sort of make out a face, but it's the arm that makes the photo suspect, and many think it's a hoax. However, it has been analysed over the years, and nothing in this picture was supposedly tampered with or altered with in any way. That's not to say it's not a double exposure, but if it's not a ghost, it certainly looks like something sinister is going on. What's your thoughts? So there you have it, 5 scary ghost photographs that will threaten the skeptic in you. I know that many people are quick to assume all ghost photographs are fake, just for a quick scare, or the hopes of going viral, and that is certainly true for the most part. But we aim to look into all things paranormal to get a better understanding of the creepy world around us. So which was your favourite ghost photograph, and which one did you think was the most genuine? Thanks for watching, and as always, we'll see you in the next video.